What's going on at UPS is they are making progress and they're executing on their plan. And their plan really is to create a network that can not only handle but thrive in an ever-changing environment. And that change is being driven by e-commerce. It's being driven by the uncertainty around tariffs. And what they've been able to do is increase productivity through technology, whether it's automation or AI, and that also they were stepping away from business from Amazon. They noted on the morning call that they're 3 quarters into a 6 quarter glide down of Amazon business, and the reason why they want to move away from Amazon business, it tends to be lower margin, lower yielding packages. But that's not to say that they don't want to totally.
So this is not something that wasn't unplanned, is what I want everybody to know. This was absolutely planned. The timing of it couldn't be really better if you look at all the companies that have decided to start mass layoffs at the same time. It's almost like it was a coordinated effort, right? And I'm actually really surprised at UPS because I know that they've been losing money over the last several years because of Amazon. But it sounds like business hasn't really been good for them. And so the downsizing isn't just because AI automation exists, it's also because they just want to get back into what they do best. And with AI taking over seemingly almost everything that is done behind a computer, UPS, one of the oldest delivery services that we know, has decided to say, you know what, we aren't going into this direction anymore. And what this really makes me feel like is really happening ultimately is that everyday jobs that the average person does, I mean, shit, excuse my language, y'all. I was an Uber driver once, right? But I saw the writing on the wall. I remember a few years, back when I drove Uber, I remember the rates went from like it was really good to drive Uber. I mean, you could drive Uber for about 4 or 5 hours and make a good 250, $300, in that time period. I remember the day that the rates changed and seemingly those hours went from about 4 hours making that type of money to you. If you didn't drive 6, 7 hours, you weren't making $200. And what I saw then at that point, I was like, oh, really, this was never meant to be a solution for just everyday persons, being able to hop in their car and make extra money. It was sold to us as that, but it wasn't like the end result. And what AI has done is allowed for all these inefficient processes to be like cut down to the minimum. What does that mean? That means like taking back office management. I mean, AI can do all this stuff. And I'm not here to say like this is great, like more AI. I think it's absolutely terrible. I didn't realize how fast this would happen in our lifetimes. And to see companies scale this quickly lets me know also that we're actually really entering into a bubble. And I was having a conversation, and a couple of things I'm going to talk about on this episode is one, why is the stock of UPS going up? Right? You would expect because of the downsizing for a lot of these companies' stock to kind of plummet. Actually, it's been the exact opposite effect. Stock has like gone up. And so the reason why, and I'll just get straight to it, the reason why is because anytime, especially dividend paying companies, anytime that there has been a lack of efficiency and that more money could be put back into the business, the stockholders in the market likes that. So what that means is like, okay, hey, you know what? We are being paying these 34,000 people, all this money, and yeah, they're gonna lose jobs, but now we're gonna be taking those salaries and put those back into the money for the investors. Remember, this is all about investor sentiment, right? How does the investor feel? Because if the investors feels really good, they see this as a company on the rise, the stock is going to go up. More people are going to want to put their money into UPS, into Amazon, into Intel, all these companies over the last few weeks that have laid off millions of people. And like I said, this is just the beginning. It's such a beginning. I don't know where we're going to be at in 3 years, but like like I feel for those folks. Like, I mean, I can't imagine what's going on with people right now. They're saying, look, I expected to have this job for the next 20, 30 years. I just got out of college, or I've been doing this. I don't have any specialized other real degree. I mean, at this point, does a degree even matter? So here's what I would say. If you're driving anything like that you have to go from point A to point B in right now, your job is going to be automated. If you're a truck driver, if you drive Uber, if you like drive some type of machinery at work, all that stuff is going to be automated. So there won't be a need for a company to hire 2,000 drivers to deliver packages. There's just won't, right? And you're hearing what UPS is saying, like their partnership with Amazon, they were receiving nothing. The only way they were making money is on returns. But them just taking packages from Amazon because usually the packages are so small, they're always like these individual boxes and things like that. They weren't making any money, so they got out of that business, which means that they don't need as many people because I think they had to actually increase the amount of folks that they had to hire because of Amazon. But I think what they were doing is they were losing money, right? So what you're seeing right now is a huge pivot away from kind of the UPS Amazon partnership. Obviously, AI is automating all of their back office systems, and this is management positions, by the way. This isn't just regular folks like who are the drivers. It's everybody. I can't believe this is happening, and again, just the speed of this going on. But let's continue. Let's see what else he has to say.
Um, their return business is a good business for them.
That's what I was
And
saying,
we're
right?
seeing
Return business.
the success in the numbers. And, going into the quarter, I think investors were cautious or had low
Look at that. Wait,
expectations.
wait, wait. Time out.
Uh,
Look at that. UPS stock, I think at the time of this was recorded, maybe a few days ago, is up 7.48%. The investors are saying yay. The stock market is saying yay. Thank you. So if man, this is all interesting. Like because the market is saying yes, I think you're gonna see more and more companies just say, you know what, we don't need all these people. I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing this in real time, and it's so sad because what are people going to do? How are people going to get by? Oh,
and management kind of exceeded those with the results, and their outlook really shows us that expectations for the fourth quarter in 2026, at least as relates to sell side analyst consensus, is probably a bit low and it needs to move higher.
it's interesting. Um, when I started hearing all this stuff going on with Amazon, with some of these other companies, it was really interesting. One of the companies I didn't expect to hear about was UPS. Now, this is an example really around the time period that this news came out. This was between the 27th and pretty much today, November 3rd. You can see the stock jumped from about $89 all the way up to about 97. So that was about a 7 to 8% move on this stock just because of the news came out, just because of the news. And see, that's where I really think that like going forward as individuals, as people who need to kind of secure our futures, I think we have to really start thinking outside the box on what it is that we really want to do. Because AI has basically cut really in real time, our processes, our efficiency, everything in half. And again, I mean, I hate to say it, but UPS is only the start. I think you're going to see the same thing in FedEx. You're going to see this in Amazon. Obviously, he's already started. Like all these companies where people are having reliable jobs, like we thought they were reliable, but the news was coming in very seldomly. Like remember, the start of this year, we really started, well, maybe last year, we really started seeing an acceleration talk of AI. Now, I know that technologies moves really fast. I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine today. I said the scary thing about this, about AI for sure, is that we can't see it, right? So we don't really know how fast it's really moving, the processing speed. I mean, if you've ever used like ChatGPT anything like that. Like you've seen, like, hey, I mean, I could have it write an email by just telling it, hey, can you send an email to my client about this recent illustration that I just put together? And it'll spit out a whole page document that would have definitely took me about an hour to write. There's no way that some of the efficiencies that I'm even seeing in my own business that I can't even consider like moving forward. I have to. It's literally took in my business and said, you know what, Akil, you can like spit out like summaries and things that would like I'm not even thinking about wanting to do and making my own because of its efficiency. And it's sad I have to use it because if I don't, then somebody else is going to get this business, right? But again, it's still it's I'm not even saying like even my position, my other business outside of this channel, it can be replaced. So I have to get ahead of the curve. And you have to do the same thing too. You have to get ahead of the curve. You have to say to yourself, you know what? Look, I'm not going to let AI take me out. I'm not going to be stuck, at a position where I can't afford groceries. I can't pay my mortgage. I can't pay my rent. We just have to say, what am I going to do to make sure that this doesn't happen to me? I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think that the AI takeover isn't real? I mean, tell me in the comments below. What do you think? I'm really curious about where this is leading us in the next 2 to 5 years, and where this is going to lead just average Americans. How are we going to make money? I really want to know what you guys' thoughts are. For right now, I'm going to see you guys soon. This is Saving America's Money. My name is Akil, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.